Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was released in 2015 to mixed reviews from fans. Despite the hype that surrounded it prior to its release, a lot of people were disappointed by it. Even Scott himself wasn't so fond of it, originally planning to end the series on Five Nights at Freddy's 3, but due to the game's reception, he decided to make 4 to make up for it.
You know, I think in my mind the story was going to be 3 games. And in all honesty, I think Five Nights at Freddy's 3 was where I really was starting to pay attention to criticism. People were not happy with the jump scare, and that really bothered me. I wanted to make another entry that was really, really scary again.
My feelings, however, are much different, and today I'm here to tell you why. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is unique from its predecessors in that it is not set inside a family restaurant. Rather, it is set in a horror attraction made to capitalise on the murders and disappearances that took place at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And the place looks it too. The rooms are drenched in a musty green light, with filth and grime clinging to every surface. The building is adorned with props, including your very own security system, which is lifted from a vintage pizzeria, making it around 30 years old. Though, there are no threats in the building. Yet.
You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
On night 2, we are introduced to Springtrap, an animatronic that has been forgotten and locked away for many years, only just now seeing the light of day. And it definitely shows. His fur is discoloured and mouldy, torn to shreds by time, but his decrepit appearance isn't his most gruesome feature. Looking closer, we can actually see that entrails spill from every orifice of his body. A human carcass is jammed between the old machinery, and he doesn't look pretty. Overall, a great setting and great character design. Now let's talk about the gameplay itself. In Five Nights 3, we really have no idea what we're up against here. At least in the previous 2 games, Phone Guy could give us some direct information about the threats we face and how to handle them. But now, he is long since dead. All we have to go off of are old training tapes that you have to use to piece together what kind of animatronic he is and how to deal with him, because clearly he is unlike anything we've seen before. He hides from the cameras, crawls through the vents, and causes almost tangible hallucinations. A very unique enemy, especially for this point in the series. He is very obviously supposed to be the focal point of this game. And, to Scott's credit, he is the perfect character for that, since he isn't a victim of the paranormal happenings at Freddy's like so many others. He is the perpetrator himself. This is essentially a demented game of hide and seek with a serial killer. However, you may think that because he's the only animatronic in the game, that it'd be relatively easy to deal with. But you would be wrong. To stay alive throughout the night, you must keep Springtrap busy by luring him into different rooms and away from your office with the attraction sound system. And if he crawls into the ventilations, you have to seal it before he can reach you. As I mentioned before, the security equipment that you have access to is extremely old and thus very unreliable.
In trying to make the place feel vintage, we may have overdone it a bit. Some of this equipment is barely functional.
Static obscures your vision, and different systems constantly need to be rebooted, taking up valuable time and attention. This, I think, is a very clever choice. One, because it fits the setting of the horror attraction using authentic vintage items from the old pizzerias, but also because it provides a unique mechanic that makes the player feel very vulnerable to attack, since their defenses are so lacking. The faulty systems also add a bit of RNG to the game, because sometimes it breaks down at the wrong time. However, unlike FNaF 2, which had too much RNG in my opinion, I think this game has just the right amount, so that it isn't frustrating, but still keeps you on your edge, praying that your cameras don't fail you. The previous two games never really had a heavy emphasis on the cameras, only using them for a specific purpose, such as the music box in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and the Pirate's Cove in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. The fourth game didn't even have cameras, so it really makes Five Nights at Freddy's 3 stand out, just because of how much emphasis it places on them. In fact, they are your only line of defense. Once Springtrap reaches you, there is nothing more you can do. I like this decision actually. It makes the gameplay loop a lot more than just a pattern of checking this door, then that door, etc. The player is forced to search for Springtrap throughout the building and lure him away from you, all while carefully timing your reboots and counting his movements through the audio cues. I think this approach adds a lot of strategy to the game that other entries in the series lack. Now, up to this point I have done nothing but praise this game. However, it is not perfect and certainly has its flaws. Don't get me wrong, I do love this game, but there are some things I would definitely change. One of those things is the phantom animatronics. The jump scares are set up well. While you're focused on Springtrap, the sudden, unexpected jump scare is definitely effective. The issue I have with them though is the fact that they are far too frequent. I would definitely tone them down a bit so that they're less frequent, or at least only have one of them jump scare you, the rest of them just disabling various systems. Because too many jump scares, they kinda lose their effect after a while. And the last thing, another jump scare related problem, is the Springtrap jump scare. Now this is the main reason Scott decided Five Nights at Freddy's 3 wasn't a good enough game to end on. And honestly, I can totally see that. It definitely leaves much to be desired. It's slow, not super loud or sudden, and you can predict it when it's coming a lot of the time. The game is definitely not perfect, but it doesn't have to be perfect to be good. I just wanted to make a video highlighting this game's strengths because I feel like it's a bit too underrated. And that's about it. I'm going to make more of these types of videos, once every week releasing on a Monday. Definitely some more related to Five Nights at Freddy's, as well as maybe some other games in the future. So if you're interested in that type of thing, then subscribe. Today though, the 22nd, should have 2 other FNaF videos uploaded, just so long as I didn't screw anything up. And you can watch those right now. In conclusion, it's a good game. I like it.